Hey people, so I did a video about the killer and how to get 4Ks where I pretty much talked about the things you should work on and things you might need to be successful in your matches. But today I decided to do another one, but for Survivor. So with all that said, let's get to the video. So the number one thing to get better at Survivor and to skate more is to simply play the game. Who knows how many countless hours I have kept playing, even though I've been doing terrible in my games. I remember when I first got the game, I never really spent that much time on the game, you know. I was terrible, so then I decided to give up on the game after a while and stop playing. And that was a huge mistake for me. I came back to the game and I was complete garbage. You know what I'm saying? Then one of my other friends decided to get the game also, and then that's when my grind started. After a year of that, I finally ended up with a total of 29 days, which is kind of like the amount I have right now. Um, yeah, spent a lot of time. But even though I spent all that time, I'm now able to make it to rank 1 if I really wanted to, you know. But the thing is it might not take you guys as long to get as good right now because back then I didn't really have many sources of things and videos to watch, so I kind of had to learn like 75% of everything I'm doing. But yeah, I mean, all of that gameplay I did, it felt like forever. All those games I did terrible, garbage, but ended up working out for me in the end. You know, grinding out is always worth it in the end if you actually like take the time. It always ends up helping you out. But anyways, let's go into more detail. So, something else you can do which makes the game a lot more easier is to play with friends. I think playing with friends makes the game so much easier because you know what another player is doing at all times if you have a mic. But yeah, I mean you can do a lot. You can like have one of your friends hold the killer, and so you know someone else is doing a generator, someone's gonna go for a save or not, and then you can just do like you can make a lot of game plans with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot more easier when you have friends. But let's just go on to another thing now. The next thing is to learn how the game works. So let me explain this. This is like learning the killer movement compared to yours, how long their lunge is, the amount of speed they get while they're lunging, how to play against each killers and their abilities, how to run certain loops and stuff like that, you know. And that's a lot of stuff I just listed, so I can't really list all that in the video. This video would end up being like maybe 20, 30, 40 minutes long, and that's just too much. So um, comment down which one of those I listed just now, which one you would like me to get in depth with and talk about specifically, and I'll do that if you ask for it. So now, here we go. Let's talk about something else. Something that always has to be done every match, and I see a lot of starters mess up with this a lot, like a lot, which is you always want at least one person working on generators, whether someone's getting, you know, you always want someone working on generators because you need the objectives to be completed all throughout the match. Like, who knows? So let me talk about if you're not playing. If you're playing with teammates, then obviously you want one of you guys to do a generators, and you know that someone's gonna work on a generator. Anyways, if you're playing by yourself and you solo queue, something to look for is if you're noticing a gen hasn't popped in a while, which should have been done. You should probably start working on a generator immediately because that means when either your teammates are terrible at skill checks or none of them are even working on a generator, which is not good at all. So always need the objective to get done. Always. And let's talk about being able to do generators. If you want your teammates to be allowed to work on generators, you should also have one other survivor hold the killer, occupy them, get chased by them, And this kind of goes with the running loops one, because you need to know how to run loops if you're the survivor that's getting chased by the killer. Because if you're getting chased by the killer is not patrolling generators, meaning every other player in the game can work on generators comfortably, not worrying about the killer being a ghost face or something to catch him off the generator. I don't know the killer yet. And you can just do generators, and yeah. But if you're not the type of person to run the killer and you're really struggling with that, you can either play, going back to the survival friends part, you can have 3 other players, and you all play immersed, and then after a while you just have the killer quit and boom, you get a good win. I guess, I don't know. Alright. Now let's talk about the perks. The perks I tell every starter is... Ready? Want to take a wild guess what it is? It is... self-care. Now the reason I'm telling every starter what perk they should go for first is self-care. Because if you're a starter, you're still learning stuff, okay? You're still learning the maps, the loops, and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And you're learning the killer's abilities, what they can do. Like, you don't know which killer can throw something, which killer can place traps, what killers can blink, or, use a chainsaw. And you're still learning that stuff. So, if you do run against the killer that hits you and makes you injured, you always want to be fully healed all times. Because if you're getting chased by the killer and you start learning everything, hit if they're chasing you. Because either you're going to run a loop wrong, you're going to run to a bad area, and you don't know that because you don't know the maps yet. You're still learning that stuff, and I don't blame you. But that's just something to remember. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about today is being resourceful. Now, being resourceful is kind of like saving pallets, okay? But, I don't know how many times I die late game because my teammates are wasting so many good pallets at the start of the game on their first chase. Okay? Now, when you're getting chased, you want to waste the least amount of pallets as possible. You don't want to waste as many pallets. You want to try and save as many pallets as you can. Okay? Because I have found a lot of players in my games, and they usually yell at me early, but then they run the killer for so long. You know why? Because they're throwing every pallet down on the map. Obviously, you're going to be able to run the killer for a while if you throw down every pallet on the map on your first chase. It's easy to run the killer down if you throw every pallet down. But then once you throw down every pallet, there's not really much to save you anymore if the killer has bloodlust, or he's going to knock you, or anything. The only thing you rely on at that point are just windows, and that's not going to help you for long because they don't really slow the killer down. And they get blocked off. And there's a difference from pallets because pallets stop killers from getting bloodlust, which makes them faster. And if there's no more pallets left, well, it looks like they're going to keep their bloodlust until they hit you. And then they're going to knock you, and then you're dead. Simple as that. But also, it's like when a lot of people waste a lot of pallets because they don't want to get hit or they don't want to get knocked. The thing I say is if you're fully healed, it's fine taking hits. There's not really much you're losing off of taking a hit, you know what I mean? You're just going to get a good speed boost and it doesn't matter.
Holy Jesus.
Loop, run to a safer area, if you got hit, I don't know. But if you're getting injured and you have the opportunity to throw a pallet down, it depends the loop you're on, and it depends how early in the game you are. So if there's only one gen done, if only one gen has been completed, and you're at Shack and you're injured and you throw it down, that's probably not the best move because Shack does save a lot of people very late in the game when there's 3 to 0 gens left. People do the Shack pallet because there's a window and 2 entrances with the pallet. It's great. But it don't worry to go down if it's your first time. If it's your first chase and you go down, it's fine, you know. And if you try to loop them, whatever way, waste more time, and you're still not wasting pallets. If you're on a bad pallet, then that's different. But you want to try and get as many loops as possible. And, you know, if you don't make a pallet, then you go down, go on the hook, and then get saved and go on with your game. You know, at least you can have that pallet save you later in the game, maybe when you're on your last hook and you're about to get hit, that if that pallet's still there, it can save you, you know. And there can be used for so many better moments other than you just don't want to go on the hook at all. Alright. But anyway, that's going to do the video today. So, like always, subscribe to the channel, and hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it helps you out.